Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. We are going to continue working on Dreadtail. It is mighty snowy today. Holy cow. It is the middle of, what month is it? March. Welcome to Canada. Alright, so, um, I have a procedure, or the process of playing the game, so to speak, the linear layout of locations that the player would need to visit, and the order in which the various bits of the story are revealed through these locations. We need to start going through this list and start building out these locations, even if in draft, even if it's just kind of a block out type deal. But I do need something because otherwise you can just forever spend making little bits and pieces and little tiny mechanics, and the overall experience is still not existent. So we're gonna sort of block out all of these locations, and then see if we can get some sort of a sequence of events that we can establish that can actually be played and can be coherent. And then as we go along, we're gonna return to all the locations, start revamping them. So that's gonna be the plan right now. Also, a lot of these locations don't actually contain any written challenges of how to get into them or how to gain access to them. So I think we're going to be kind of experimenting and brainstorming stuff on the go. So, for example, first location, the security checkpoint. The current security checkpoint honestly isn't really up to my liking. It's a cool location. We're going to keep it, but it's not really. It doesn't feel significant enough. It feels more like a sideshow, secondary quest type deal. So we're gonna see about maybe making a much more interesting security checkpoint where the player gets access to the radio for the first time, and maybe gets the main quest initiated. So cool, security checkpoint. We're gonna be building this stuff out of the pieces that we have already established, created before. So I'm just gonna find myself a nice clearing. Here's a nice spot, and random locations. We're gonna add a node 3D. We're gonna place it right where the camera's at. There we go. And of course, we do have to reset its rotation. And now this is gonna be radio. What is it? Security checkpoint quest start. I am considering making an actual quest notification system, kind of like what you have in Fallout, and I think that would be a nice way to practice it for the Atomicon project. Now, let's take a look here. So we got bunker kit, wall tall. I need foundations. I need foundations. What is it? Prop structures? No. Foundation. Bunker prop storage. Generic bunker. Concrete slabs. 4x4 slab long. I think that was for the silo location. Old pieces. Power fuse box. I need to remind myself where everything is at. Dorm. Ground trail. Okay. Hmm. Let's open up. Let's actually look up one of the other locations here. There's a location where we had foundation. Now, where is it? Nope. Oh, there it is. Okay. These pieces. That's what I'm looking for. Temp Lab 1. Maybe that's what I should call it. Okay. You. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Oh, it's not a scene. Got it. Should we make it a scene? Concrete chunk triangle. Not everything has to be a scene. But then again, we do have to have collisions here. And I don't want to create a collision for each and every single piece separately. So maybe we should. This here is a large piece that doesn't have collisions. At least not right now. All right. Fair enough. So we have model, locations, foundations kit, and then objects, locations, foundations kit. That's what we're looking for. Okay. That is the prefab of the foundation, which isn't good. We don't actually want this. So we're not going to be using it. 'Cause it sucks. Okay, we want this. It's nice and tall, so we should have plenty of space to insert it into the ground. That seems to mesh in pretty well. All right. Take the player... What is it? Player spawn. Alarm transform to view. Reset location. And then page down to snap it to the ground. Which it didn't. Okay, so that's how much space we have. That seems entirely too little space. So we are going to... Okay, let's work with this. What do I have in terms of layout? I wanted to use more angles. So there's one with a window, short window. Sure. Okay, can we please make it be inserted here? I think I gotta hold control for that. So if we do something like this, 45 degrees. Okay. Oh, interesting. Doesn't have a texture on that one. Let me copy the material. Paste it in. Okay. if we come across any more unshaded ones, we'll just populate the data, populate the material. Okay, I might want to save branch as scene, so I could just work within this scene right away. This would be object, object, yep, and then this would be bunker kit. Is it bunker kit? No, this is locations. All right, now I'm gonna, just for good measure, copy this value, enter the scene. I'd like to bring this over to here so it's nice and centered. Nice. More or less. That's looking good. And then when I go back here, it should have disappeared, but that's where we copied the property, paste it back in, and now we're back in business. Nice. Okay, so now I can actually work on this scene and not have to wait for stuff to finish loading or unloading. So the idea with this window is that when the player walks across here, they will see this window, and they will see what's inside of it, which is going to be the radio. And then they'll have to find a way to get through it. Okay, so this is stubby. Mm-hmm. So we can go ahead and place one with the door here. Can actually displace it like this. Oh, there's another one. Paste. Ooh, this one's a lot taller. But, you know, we can always just dip that down. Not a big deal. Okay, now I want this window to be right smack in the middle of the view when the player comes in here. So maybe we'll just rotate this by 90 degrees so we have more horizontal space. And then the player's gonna walk through here. So we duplicate this piece. There we go. We can try to obscure the weird flow of concrete here. That's fine. Once we put like debris on it and everything, that should be okay. Right. Okay, so why don't we maybe get rid of this or move this over here. Just thank God he didn't let me sleep. You are in control of your sleep schedule, man. Don't start blaming it on me. Hello. Okay, wall bashable, wall short. Right. So to make sure this window is like right smack in the view, I'm gonna see about doing this. And this. So when the players walk in, this is kind of the first thing they see. This is where we get into the use of angles a little bit more. Oh, that's bashable. We don't want bashable. Not yet, at least. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I gotta say this particular approach of using standalone walls rather than prefabs that are locked to a grid may actually be a lot more flexible. Just because you can create some very interesting intersections, interconnections. Whereas to achieve the same thing with prefabs, you'd have to create like all sorts of weird angle pieces and corner pieces. Everything has to join together. Seems like a lot. Outer Worlds, such an amazing game. Outer Worlds. That's the Obsidian game, right? Okay. Maybe the pillars are a little extra. Steven, good day. My God, man, what is it about this channel that that deserved you guys' attention? Repeated attention, that is, no less. Every time, go online, without fail. Familiar faces. Oh, hey. You guys have a notification squad over there? It's like, oh, here's online. Everybody get on. Quickly, drop everything you're doing. You're at work, doesn't matter. Just take an extensive bathroom break for the next 2 hours. The gang's all here. That's right. Outer Wilds. Okay, Outer Wilds. Yeah, as I was like, Outer Worlds. I wasn't really a fan of the writing in Outer Worlds, to be honest. That bare bone litany of choices of completing the very first location, the story for the first location wasn't very impressive, and I was like, I don't wanna disappoint or sound rude or anything, but okay. Let me maybe drop in another foundation piece. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to drop it. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just use this one. Loyalty points for you. Ah, boy. Okay. So. What do we got here? So, maybe the pillars might be a bit much. Okay. Okay. So, we're gonna have a table here. I think I need some more scientific tables. Let me double check something. Do we have something like that in the sandbox levels for Antoine or Dimitar? Yeah, let's take a look at that. All right, so yeah, we've got a litany of new props. I started messing around with geometry nodes after Dimitar put together these vines, and these look mighty awesome. So I thought, okay, all right, fine, it's time to learn geometry nodes. And of course, the vine tutorials is what I wanted to address first, because the vines in Jezebel's office are a little too even. I thought that they could definitely improve. We've got some pipes with rebar. The rebar pieces are separate, so if we wanted to use them separately. Yeah, so a lot of these locations, right now I'm just placing down the concrete chunks, but a lot of these locations are going to end up having also be decorated with these props and pieces. So that's gonna be like a extra layer of detail on top. So we got rebar sticking in between, these seams. If there's a piece of crumbled wall on the outside, like right here, we're gonna have some rebar. I think I need to get some additional wall pieces. Like right now, everything single wall piece is just straight cut down, even if it has these little deviations. We need to get some variation where it's like this, or like it's like a triangle, something a bit more varied. So yeah, we got all sorts of cross beams to decorate with. We got a modular catwalk system, which we can build platforms and not just catwalks out of them. This is gonna be super awesome. Got pipe system here, lots and lots of pieces to make pipe work out of. So yeah, Dimitar's on top of it. We got various ladders. Again, like everything here is modular, so we can build up various bits and pieces. This is going to be a nice interactive prop for refilling the oxygen tank for particular locations in the story where oxygen tanks is required. Got control panels. There's a particular enemy that's kind of like an invisible specter that causes electrical disturbances and like tosses lightnings. Think like Vortigaunt from Half-Life 1. And what we decided to try doing is having these electrical panels basically like blow up and explode when this enemy walks nearby. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. Lots of really cool props. Man, we are going to literally ace the Atomicon project with the with the prop work we've been putting together. Nice. Oh yes, this was a really, really, really cool prop. Yeah, man, dude's on top of it. All right, let's take a look at the Antoine sandbox. I'm just gonna make sure I don't save anything. Barrel. Barrel! What is the problem with the barrel? No problem, apparently. It fixed itself. Can't open Antoine sandbox. Okay. Alright. Let me just double check if I have to pull anything. Do 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 do. Barrel. Yes. Let me open the barrel. Oh, okay, so it's a material with no issues apparently. Of course. Okay, so barrel mbarrel.tres. Can't open that. What the RM material. And can't open it. Why is that the case? Okay, let me just double check here. Do 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 do. Okay, there's some stuff that I can pull. Bunker entrance. Hey, Antoine did pull a bunch of stuff. Looks like bunker entrance was something that was working on. Nice. But I'd like to be able to open this, and I can't. So yes, no, nope. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something here. Mesh. Ooh, no. Control A. Mesh instance. Okay, this is an ORM material. What is the benefit of an ORM material? Because kind of looking at it, ORM is all three textures in one place, right? Occlusion, roughness, metallic, instead of having three separate pieces. Okay, so we're in materials, custom materials, props, and then barrel. Just gonna override this. There we go. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get this up. All right. There we go. There's onto one sandbox. So he's been working on these prefab pieces for the what is it? I think it's the warehouse. And these are like actual full-on independent prefab pieces. All right, so we can build out one single story, two-story stuff out of them. That's really cool. Some railroad stuff. We got, god damn. We got terminals here up the wazoo. The only problem is somehow this is the terminal that I put together, but I think god damn it, the subdivision of the screen keeps getting reset. I feel like Antoine has the old file. He went ahead and took the terminal that I made and textured it. But while he was texturing it, I edited it to have a much more subdivided screen so that when the computer texture is being displayed on it, you don't see the angle changes on the texture, which looked a little too jarring. So I pushed the changes, but then he pushed the changes, overriding the file because he had to do UV unwrapping, destroying my subdivision. So I took the model and then subdivided it again, but that destroyed the UV mapping. So he took the model, UV mapped it, and textured it again, which removed the subdivision. And then it's like, you know what? I'll just texture it myself. So that's something that I need to do on the to-do list. Because when the screen is being displayed, you can actually see the angles. There's only like 6 subdivisions on the screen, so the texture gets it very visibly gets warped. But yeah. Okay, so what do we have here? He's got, this is the exterior, which is looking pretty gosh darn awesome. This is the exterior terminal, and then this is the labs terminal. They all run, damn, that is a really nice looking mesh. Nice detail. So they're all going to be running the same exact terminal interface. I should not be making changes here. Terminal interface UI. So that's cool. We have to work on this one, which it still has a messed up texture because these are supposed to be perforated holes. And we also need to remove the text. There should be no text. Also, something's up with the normal map here. Weird. Right, so we need to make sure we get rid of text because text is a little too on the nose. You know, he's worked on this med kit, and then I don't know what that is. What is that? Bed clock. Got it. Yeah, we can't really see it, but I'm sure there's some knobs and details there. We got a sink. We got a, hey, this looks nice. Actually, there's a nice lamp over here. Right, and I know that Dimitar also made a lamp in his iteration, so we really got to try to use Trello more to make sure that people don't end up making 2 of the same prop, which I went over it, but this was like earlier in our cooperation, so before we kind of ironed out the kinks with keeping track of everything. We got a suitcase in here. A suitcase. Pack up your death. Yeah. Okay. But hey, propane tanks. Yeah, but I don't see anything in terms of like a science table that I can use. So gonna have to work on that. Put that together. Don't save. We need like labs tables because right now I only have desk. Oh man. Does anybody know if they're planning at least on adding some sort of filtering system? Like if I do star.tscn. I posted a meme on the Godot subreddit. That was just the caption. That was just me typing in the filtering and uh just a single screenshot of the why isn't it possible? Why not, you stupid son of a bitch? Just a screenshot of that. No subtitle. And it flew over everyone's head. Apparently I'm the only one who's chronically online to be able to get that depth of memeage. Right. So hopefully somebody out there is actually working on a filtering system for this. Okay. What do we want to do here? We need a lamp. Okay. What kind of lamps do we have? We have a generic lamp. No, that's the old top-mounted one. Street park lamp, ceiling cone lamp, table lamp, and then table lamp 2. I think this is the one that I made. Here's another one. But I want to use the one that Dimitar Antoine made. Let me double check that. It's really nice to have a sandbox for Dimitar and Antoine because I can always just like pop into it and take a look at what props are available and just be like, hey, that looks nice. Yoink. Okay, there was a lamp in here. I don't know where it went to. I distinctly remember seeing a lamp. Oh, there's the player. We got some logs to be randomly scattered. We got little oxygen tank. Spoilers. Lamp? Lamap. No? Light? Directional light. Okay, alright. I suppose maybe it is Antoine who has the lamp. Do you plan to make cutscenes? I want to maybe stick to in-game interactable cutscenes. Kind of like what we did with the prying mechanic of the security cabinet. Something like that, but I wanted to make the cutscene in-game. Not like pre-rendered or pre-executed, so to speak. Okay, so the bed lamp. Looks like it's in a bunch of separate pieces, which like you can move it around. But this isn't a scene. I need to save this, so let's save it as a bed lamp. Objects, props, and this is gonna be bunker props dorm. Sure. Well, it could have been an office. Narrative like Outer Wilds. Yeah, it's basically the cutscenes are, they don't have the camera kind of like detaching itself from the player's first-person view, so everything is still from the first-person perspective. I should actually place it in the office. Bed lamp. Let's place it here. Jeez. Okay. So, I'm just gonna make sure that I clean up my crime scene. I'm gonna Go into the scene, which apparently is broken now. Bed lamp. Okay, reset this, reset that. Nice. And then, hey, okay, so it already remembered where it was. That is good. And now that we have that, take the bed lamp. We're going to position it right here. Nice. And we're going to have it light up. Let's see. Editable children. How does this swivel? Okay, this swivels just like up and down. Like this. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is Dimitar's lamp. We're gonna rotate this like that. And I'm gonna place a light source. Head. Let's do light. Spotlight. Oh boy. There we go. Mm-hmm. There we go. And then we're going to place a radio here. Look at all the sound effects. Radio detector. We should really call it radio locator. There will be a place where we have to change that though, because I think it's the item database. Yep. Oh, there we go. Now, there is a particular problem that we need to take care of, and it's the fact that the lamp would not be producing light if it has no power. So we need to somehow justify there being power here. Okay, I'm gonna save this. That's fine. And you know what? Before anybody has a chance, I'm gonna push it. Saved. Saved bed lamp as seen. There we go. I'm gonna push this change to GitHub and assert my dominance. That's right. Good luck, everybody else. Right. So we have the security checkpoint quest here, and the locator and detector are the same, but technically use it to find locations. And anytime we were working on implementing sound effects with Cole, we kept searching for a radio locator, because with all the sound effects in the script, it's called locator, but with the item TSCN file, it's a radio detector. So, you know, every time it's a routine. Spend 5 minutes looking for it when we should have been looking for something else. Okay, so let's keep going. So we are going to set up. What do we need to set up? I have a feeling we might want to create a series of walls that is a perforated metal through which we can see what's happening on the other side. Think of like a storage room, but you're allowed to see through the storage walls. Plus, perforated mesh is always associated with like a storage room. So maybe that's what we can do. Cool. Let's go to Treadtail Escape, Assets, Models, Locations. Yes, and this is Bunker Kit. I think this is it. Yes, that's the one. Hey, look at that. that's the script that I wrote to create to quickly animate or convert Blender's physics objects simulation into bone animations. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? So what do we need? We need a pillar. Okay, it's going to be pretty long. We don't need this for the time being. Let's get... There we go. I'm going to make sure that it's perfect, so we'll do cursor to selected, and then create this thing. Control M on the Z-axis. Okay, so this will be mounted to the floor and ceiling, which means our height is pretty much set. Join this. Let's place the cursor, transformation across the cursor, and the cursor will be in the middle. And then we're going to duplicate, Control M on the Y-axis, and now we got a perfect opposite side. You can assign Alt tilde key for something orientation toggle. I don't know what it means. For something orientation toggle. Again, the stupid ass heart icon for the YouTube chat is covering a quarter of your message. So you guys get to benefit from the improvement, but not me. Face normals. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Let's see. Assign shortcut, Alt tilde. Yeah! Oh, okay. And let me just quickly save this. Man, that's awesome. That is a genius idea. Let's just save this. Save preferences. There we go. No improvement. They reverted it. They reverted it. Okay. I apologize. I literally just had a brain fart because I do not remember what the hell that was in regards to. They reverted what? The heart. Oh. Oh. All right. Looks like you guys are gonna suffer with me. At the same time, I could put together a quick, like, what is it? You guys are all on Chrome or Chromium based Chrome or Chromium based application, right? Hold on a second. Let me double check something. Change to blue transparency. Yeah, well, you guys have the ability to do so. Not me, though. Let's see. Because I got the YouTube Blender extension. Okay. 1 second. Echo! Blender extension. Shut up. Okay, this is what we're looking at, right? Right here? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's... Maybe I'm just too zoomed out. Yeah, it's kind of there. It's kind of in there. The heart is annoying. I mean, oh, there we go. Let's see. Where's the common parent? I think that is reaction control panel. That sounds like it. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Fantastic. Hey, look at that. That's where we're going to place it. No, you know what? I know where we're going to place it. We're going to place it right here. Right over the Dolan sign. Perfect. Except, there we go. When you click on it, it forces you to pay money. Perfect. Fantastic. As intended. Right. So, I mean, the funny thing is it wouldn't be too difficult to write a little, little extension that does it. I'll have to block it now. Yeah, it's only going to be on the active page though. But you know that. But yeah, I actually wrote a little extension. I have two bank accounts. One is my personal, and one is my business, which is you know, like any sort of tutoring or any sort of let's say if one day my game's actually bringing me money, the revenue for that would be going to my business account. And get this, on the personal account, the bank allows me to change the name of the account. So I can create like multiple savings accounts, like for savings, for medical, like emergency, you know, for like, I don't know, just segment the money. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like having multiple dedicated accounts into which I can deposit money and it's nice and separate, to me, is a lot more comfortable and easy to track than having everything lump sum in one place and then you have to do bookkeeping. It's so much more easy to keep track of everything. But here's the kicker. On the business account, they don't allow me to change the names of the accounts. So it's like a string of numbers. So I ended up writing a little a little JavaScript Chrome extension, which as soon as the page loads, it just finds the divs with the account numbers, and then it just adds a little title to them. Or the name of the account is always saving. You can't really change it. So the extension just swaps out the names, matches the numbers with the names, and allows me to keep my naming convention, and that makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where everything is. Man, being able to do stuff like that, I can't imagine how non-programming folk live. How do they make it? How do they even survive the day-to-day struggles without being able to program some sort of a solution of that just, you know, makes your life a little bit easier like that? God, what do they do? Pay $60 for some app? uh, it's also a headache maintaining many accounts, multiple account numbers, multiple net banking passwords. Well, it's all under one same bank account in my case. All the savings. And like as far as I'm looking at it, there's no maintenance. It's just deposit, done, move on. It's more to do with the fact that I just like seeing a dedicated account I can work with. Who knows? When I asked about it on what is it, Canadian like banking subreddit, was immediately laughed off of the forum. It's like, yeah, you know what? I want to minimize the amount of hassle in my life. Whatever I can. I kind of wish banks gave us the option to do automatic incoming transfer segmentation. So if you receive like a payment from a client, immediately it just takes that payment, divides it into, let's say you provide it with like a of graph of income segmentation, like 10% towards this, 15% towards that, 20% towards this, and it just moves the money to the appropriate accounts automatically. Like that to me seems like it would be super helpful. But you know, banks don't want you to be smart about your money. They don't want to make it easy, which is why I was kind of considering just making taking one of my old laptops and then making a Python application that essentially just kind of had a routine. Let's say it would receive an email. If I receive an email of notification for, let's say, a client payment, it would launch the routine of logging into the bank account, taking that deposit, and then breaking it apart, segmenting it, and depositing it into the appropriate all the appropriate accounts. You know, a lot of people said it was a bad idea, which I generally tend to agree. Automating anything of the sort when it comes to like finances and banking is sketchy business, but I still kind of see the benefits of that to be more than the drawbacks. All right, perfect. Okay, it's got to be across the cursor, and the cursor has to be in the world origin. There we go. And now, once again, Control M on the y-axis. Beautiful. Mesh. Recalculate from the outside. Cool. All right, so this is the wall. Now we need to create a texture for that wall. Let's start by creating a pattern. Okay. So the pattern, I think just black and white would be perfectly fine. So we'll fill this with black. Hello? Hello? Oh, difference. There we go. And then for the white, Just like that. Shift N and Alt N. Try remembering those. What's that for? Okay. There we go. And then I need the in-between. We can kind of eyeball it. Nice. I think using... I didn't use a pixel brush. That's interesting. Did I not use? Oh, no. That is a pixel brush. We probably don't want to use a pixel brush on this because it's going to be too jagged. Let's use one of these ones. Yes. Let's try that again. Well, now. Nice. Okay. Maybe we can just do this here. Shift N, one click, recalculate normals. Alt N, call normal menu. Okay, that's cool. All right, let's see here. Try to escape, assets, textures. Now this would be painted seamless. Okay, perforated metal long. Alrighty. Let's take the patterns panel, custom pattern, from pattern, use as pattern. Update? No. Current layer, entire image. There we go. Use as pattern. Beautiful. So now we go into, let's say, 1024 by 1024. Pretty sure that should be more than enough. And then take a fill bucket, disabled background, and then first we're going to start by giving us a general metal color, and then add a transparency mask, and with the fill bucket in the tool options we can paint with a pattern. There we go. Now we're going to invert the pattern. There we go. And that's cool and all, but I think our scale needs to be a little bit larger. Okay. Maybe we should do this. There we go. Okay, so that seems like a nice repeating pattern, which kind of makes me think maybe 2K might have been better. If we use this as a triplanar texture, I think that would be okay. Because then we won't be able to see the pattern quite as much. Looks like a Death Star pattern. What the heck is a Death Star pattern? I don't remember what when this was the Death Star pattern. Let's grab a all. Here's a task for you folks. You see this? This is a really cool texture. This is a really cool texture. There has to be somewhere out there a pack of these sort of textures. Not brushes, but just textures that you can make brushes from. We need these textures for the game dev resource list and myself. Star Wars reference. Well, I know it's a Star Wars reference. I just don't remember where it was used. Where in the Star Wars presence it was used. Although I think I'm starting to vaguely recollect something similar. It was like a wall thing, and these holes were glowing. Might be. All right, assets, textures. Oh, okay. Well, that's a pattern. All right. Okay. I think I know what you mean. Uh, uh oh. Yeah, no shit. Interesting. The interior lighting. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Sorry, I dropped out of the Star Wars after the prequels. I love all these news articles that pop up saying ludicrous stuff like Rey is now the most powerful Jedi in the universe, and then Luke's lightsaber is now Rey's lightsaber. Man. Okay. Dreadtail Escape Engine. Like, they can't muster up the creative energy to write their own completely unique, completely self-sustained, and character earning of the achievement. No, they have to write a character that explicitly takes away things from a man, thus degrading the man, and it's the feminist wet dream. That's what you get when you got no talent. Right. Dreadtail Escape Engine textures. This would be painted seamless. This is perforated metal tall. It is a PNG image. Loved watching Critical Drinker destroying them. I'm gonna have to put that on my list. Okay. So I'm not gonna texture the pillars, but I am gonna texture the inside piece. As a matter of fact, I don't think we need to. I think we just need to assign the materials. So this is metal fence or metal wall base, and which is the whole thing, and then metal wall mesh. The metal wall mesh is only this one. Nice. Beautiful. All right, so let's export. This would be, I think, OBJ. Yeah, OBJ is more than enough. Is this one piece? Yes. No. This right here needs to be joined. There we go. Everything is correctly oriented. Man, putting the shortcut on the normal view is a genius idea. It's so obvious, and yet I didn't think of it. Let's go OBJs, Dreadtail Escape Engine, models, bunker kit, props, bunker kit. I think this would be more storage related, so bunker props storage. Okay, this is metal mesh wall, selected only. Yes, export materials. We actually kind of need them. If we exported as GLTF, we could have not exported materials. All right, 3D scene. Actually, no. Static body. And then mesh instance, and then we're going to load the metal mesh. Oh, God. Did I even export it in the right place? I might not have exported in the right place. Engine models, props, bunker, props, storage, bunker, metal. Yee. Nope, that's... Come on. I think I saw the loading bar, though. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Let's get standard material. Let's get albedo. Quick load. Perforated metal tall. Interesting. Whenever UV mapped it. But I think that should be okay. This is supposed to be alpha scissor. And we are going to increase the scale. Nice. Okay. We're going to make it disabled. You know what I find actually kind of awesome? It's the fact that even if the face is single-sided, like there's no thickness to it, it still manages to have a separate light mask or light map texture for one side and for the other side. I feel like way back in the past, I distinctly remember some engines that I worked with that had an issue with it, where if you had only a single face, then if the light was hitting this side of the face, it would also light up the other side of the face. So that is really cool. Now that I look at it, I think I may want to do something about these corners. Would it be able to get proper shadows through this texture? I did use alpha scissor, so it should be able to shine a light through the in-between pieces, the holes, and then the shadow should be created. That's something that I noticed when I was when we had a recording session recently. We were playing Batman Arkham Origins, and we were going through this area where we're infiltrating the GCPD, and you go through the elevator shaft, and I noticed that the perforated mesh walls for the elevator shaft sides was casting a shadow, but they did it in a very super simple way where it's basically just an invisible plane casting shadows, because you could see that there's no pillars, no mounting holes, no brackets that hold up the thing. But the funny thing is that if you're not a game developer, you don't really notice that. It's just like, oh, cool, real-time shadows. So the fakery that happens to achieve these cool little effects, and how simple they are, always kind of baffle me when I notice them. So yeah, that was an interesting little find. Bunker metal mesh wall OBJ. Bunker metal mesh wall OBJ. Yes. Ah, damn it. I'm gonna lose the material now. Are we? Oh, there we go. Yes, we did. Okay. Alright, what is this called? Bunker metal mesh wall. Save it up. Do objects, props. This would be storage. Should it be storage? We have the bunker kit with all the other walls. Where the heck was it? Concrete slabs. Think I misspelled your title. There's a very good chance I did, but I have no way of checking or changing it at this point. So, it is what it is. Thanks for pointing it out, though. What type of gameplay will this have? Uncover the backstory and survive the night by crafting little traps and defensive mechanisms out of scrap you find around the swamp. In co-op. That's the idea. Now, dorm, comms room, commissary, chapel. Whoa. Where is it? Where do we store the bunker piece? Okay, let me just double check this. Also, let me close Antoine's scene before I mess it up any further. Come on. Okay, what the... Oh, I guess I can't save it. That's not going to cause any problems, I'm sure. Let's take a look. So where are these things stored? Can we see it from here? Open documentation for this object. Where... Okay, we don't have a way of seeing the source of a scene, do we? Bunker kit. So it's objects bunker kit. Ah, jeez. All right, objects, not props, apparently. Bunker kit, there we go. All right, beautiful. So I will move this just a little bit out of the way. We'll have to extend the foundation. And then this as well. So there's a particular dilemma that I'm kind of going through with how I'm going to handle the atmosphere in this game. On one hand, silence and ambience can play a nice role. On another hand, I distinctly take note when a game explicitly defines the atmosphere by writing a custom soundtrack for that region, for that zone. And I like when there's like a nice atmosphere in a location, and music goes a long way to help define that. So I'm kind of split between going, okay, let's go ambient, or let's go with a soundtrack. And there's Outer Wilds leans heavily into music, especially when you start reading notes. There's a custom soundtrack for a lot of the notes and the narrative reading locations that helps define the mood of what you're supposed to kind of go through and the context of what the note is trying to convey. So that's a really nice touch. On another hand, you have a game like Amnesia: The Bunker, which goes in the opposite, where there is no music. It's all like the horror in the silence. Okay, right, we lost the material. Or did we? Excuse me. I'll get the bed lamp. Go away. Yeah, we did lose the material. I am going to give it a shape. This shape is going to be a rectangle. A very simple rectangle. If we hold Alt, we can extend it. Just like that. Shrink it down. And perfect. Right. Let's quickly give it the same properties we had before. Perforated tall. Alpha scissor. Cull mode disabled. You know what else I think they should add to the UVs thing? They should add rotation, UV rotation. This would be so handy. I don't understand how they haven't implemented it yet. Oh. There we go. Okay, and then when we move it around, it is local, which means it repeats. But if we do world triplanar, there might be issues. Yeah, when we rotate it this way. So, hmm. Outer Wild's supposed to be lighthearted and fun. Amnesia's supposed to be psychological, serious, and dreaded. Yeah, but there's also Amnesia. What is it? The earlier Amnesia games, they leaned in on the music. Soma, I believe. Maybe not so much. Soma's pretty much dreadful silence of the deep sea. Um, Maybe I'll have to experiment with it. Because again, it's like, it is a heavily narrative game. This one. Or at least it relies on the narrative quite heavily. So, if that's the case, maybe I should just emphasize that. Okay, this thing does not want to remember the material. Why not? There we go. It is Borkers. There we go. I guess we could try to do some tests. See how it plays out. Never played Soma. Is it as good as Penumbra? Same studio, so it's it's got that same charm. They you can kind of trace how their philosophy for level design and mechanics design evolves with each of their games. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend you play Soma. Phenomenal experience. And the story is pretty nice as well. Okay. So this is what we have. We need a ceiling here. I'm going to get the Node 3D. And then let's see if we can... I think we're just reusing one of the ceilings. Or not. Hold on. We got foundation. Foundation top. Foundation kit. What is this? Oh, that's the prefab. We don't need that. Okay, foundation prefab can go away. We are not using it. I'd like to recommend The Evil Within. Yep. That's another great one. That one's a lot more like the Resident Evil games. Okay, so we got the foundation. What about these pieces? Concrete chunk, circle large. Okay, that's the idea. Except maybe not the big one. Let's try the medium ones. Okay. This looks pretty good. I suppose this is where having these pillars would make sense. Again, at this point, it's all about creating a space that is interesting to traverse. Okay. I'm going to place it into a node so it's easy to disable. Now, the most important part to note here is that there's no outside. This is an underground bunker that was ripped from the depths. So there's not supposed to be like an outer wall. It's just non-stop concrete. So you gotta remember that. Gotta go, time to sleep. Sounds good, man. Nighty night. Don't let the creepy crawlies bite. Okay, so we can disable the ceiling quite easily. And then here, the question is, what is going to be the mechanic, the obstacle that the player has to overcome to get in here? Hmm. Uh, Let's try this. We can enable mirror on the y-axis. Somebody's going ham on the emotes there. Don't think for a second I can't see it. Okay. I guess the mirror mode didn't work, so we're gonna have to work with this. Okay. Cool. Now, I need to get some sort of a gate object. There we go. Okay, I just realized that I got this incorrectly. Oh, well now. That's a bit problematic. I need to get the panel in between. I'm just gonna use the cursor to selected, and then selection to cursor. Whoops, can't do that because of all the vertices get merged into one place. So I'll just let's do it this way. We'll just do it manually. That's fine. All right, now here I need something like a gate. Okay. That was me with the emotes. Got it. Sounds good. If you're trying to type in a function doesn't appear, it sometimes happens. Still try to type it out and then run and see what happens. If it crashes, then something is wrong with the node you're addressing. You're trying, so like it doesn't exist, for example, if it gives you null instance. If it does work, then well, sometimes Godot's a little goofy and it doesn't quite understand what you're trying to talk to. Okay, gonna mark sharp. Select this using sharps. What do I want to do here? You know what? Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we'll use this as a door frame. Okay, what do we got here? Maybe we'll just place it like this. That could work, possibly. Let's see. We gotta... Oh. We gotta get a door in here. Can make this a little thicker. And what else do we need to do here? Some sort of a door. This is metal wall door. What about the other one? Ugh. Where was the other one? Actually, you know what? We could probably take all of these faces, drop it down like this. Oh, come on. Now we'll just eyeball it. Oh, whoops. I don't want that. It's because the mirror was enabled. Okay. And now for the door itself, I'm going to duplicate this, separate by selection. I'm going to intrude it this way. And then select that. Use it. Separate. And then GX like this. All right, now the orientation doesn't really matter. Maybe just for posterity. I'm gonna do this. And, okay, now that's a door. That's a door. If we export this as GLTF, we can keep the door inside, but how do we interact with this door? Every other door we interact with pretty much uses a, what does it use? Uses a rigid body, so it has to be nested in a rigid body, so we might have to just export it as a separate mesh. So OBJs it is, I suppose. Okay. Metal wall, door, metal wall, door, frame. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's get this exported. Bunker metal mesh wall. Door, frame. And then this is door. Cool. Let's go over here. Make a new scene. Static body. Mesh instance. There we go. You know, I feel like maybe as some sort of a modification, when you instance a mesh instance node, maybe if you hold down a particular keyboard shortcut, it could also immediately prompt you for the model you'd like to populate. I think that might be cool. Okay, I do need to save the material for the perforated mesh here, because it uses the same exact material. Save. Oh, come on. We gotta save it. Materials, custom materials, bunker. Okay, what does custom materials means? I suppose custom is anything that we made, which means technically it wouldn't go here. Bunker mesh. There we go. Perforated metal tall. I'm going to save this. This goes to objects, bunker kit, bunker metal, mesh wall, door. And then here, there we go. Nice. That's the wall. And then we're also going to do a rigid body. That's the door. Mesh instance. Immediately load up. Metal door. We're going to give it... It has to have two materials, actually. So, take the door, take this face, mesh gets assigned, and re-export as door. And paste. No. Perforated tall. Nice. Okay. Now there's no handle here. Perhaps there should be a handle. What should be the direction at which the door opens? On the left side, maybe? Maybe we can do something about rounding these corners. Yeah, that could work. Okay, I'm just going to apply scale for good measure. Okay. That's the unlocking mechanism. And then what do we do here for the door? For the handle, I should say. Let's see about doing a Bezier curve. Okay. Let's give it geometry. Hey, there's a nice little fold right there, which doesn't really look too bad. Set the origin 3D cursor, which is supposed to be right here. Cursor to selected. Nice. That is very strange. That's not at all where the vertex is being originated from. Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's reduce the resolution, so we don't need to have this many vertices here. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Okay, there we go. And then, whoops, convert to mesh, and then join. Okay. I may want to store the normal settings here. Which means I gotta store the normal settings in the base mesh as well. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now export obj. This is door door. Hey, there we go. Noise. Fantastic. So that looks good. Maybe we can have a bit of a border around the handle mechanism. That's a little weird. Oh, right, because it's an and gone. Well. Hey, there we go. So we go through the top, grab the knife. We can't because the frame is in the way. There we go. And then C to make it cut through everything. Y to make it stick to the y-axis. There we go. And now, Alt H, bring everything back. So now I can take this, bevel it, and then I'm gonna take only these faces. And I'm going to extrude normals, which means I kind of have to go through auto smoothing. Oh. Yes, there we go. Hola, watching from my job. Gotcha. Oh, okay, that's not good. I think I'm just gonna do this. Move it on the x-axis. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Oops, wrong account. Well, we'll see who it is. There we go. Nice. Okay, that looks a bit better. Cool. So this door, this needs to be rigid interactable. Antoine! I see Antoine's messaging us from the slave camp. Bit of a heads up, Antoine. I tried opening your scene, and it had an issue with the ORM material. I think some of the textures might have been missing. I don't know which object had the ORM material, but I ended up just creating a new ORM material and overriding it. It was like barrel_M, if I remember correctly. So, you know, not sure what happened, but I needed to try to get into the scene, so I just kind of overwrote it. No way to really do that, I think, without doing text editing. And yeah, just kind of wanted to take a look at what I can use. And on the other hand, also, we have the propane tank, right? You still have to remove the propane word from it, right? Show, don't tell. General rule. And then I'm pretty sure you were trying to use the perforated metal that I used on the radio tower, right? Because right now it's all stretched out, which I don't know if you intended for that to be. I think at some point you showed a screenshot and it was holes instead of lines. Am I correct? Okay. Yes, okay, got it. So, once you get a chance, if you can get that fixed up, that'll be perfect because I can start working on getting the prying animation, right? I'm pretty sure we can find a way to reuse the prying animation if this lock is adjusted to have like a horizontal hole in it that we can lodge the prying tool into. Okay, so that's basically what it is. Other than that, just grinding on. Let's close this up. Oh yeah, you might want to make sure that you fetch from GitHub before you try to push anything to your scene, because I found the lamp, the table lamp, bed lamp, in the project, but it was just like a series of loose OBJ files. It wasn't the scene, and I needed to turn it into a scene. So I right-clicked on it, save branch as scene, but that means that your scene is, it's a little kerfuffled. So make sure you fetch first before you add anything new. Leaving my job in like 30 minutes. Oh, is that your last day? Okay. Let me see. Let me actually place this into here. So this is door, door. Bunker metal mesh wall door. Yes. There we go. So I'll do this. Rotate it by 45. And then place this in here. Friday. Got it. Sounds good, man. Finally, we'll be free of the slave camp. Passing from the 50, 60-hour week to 15, 30-hour week. Man, that's such bullshit. We have an increased load of orders. Be ready to void your social life. Social life, not on our payroll. We're going to place you in the store on these 60-hour work weeks because that's going to optimize our profits. What's that? You're tired? Sounds like a you problem. Oh, no, we don't want to move it in the local axis. All right, perfect. Maybe having some shelves in here might be nice. Tool shelf. What is tool shelf? Ah, that's more like a stool shelf. Receiving document shelf. No, that's just for little paper documents. Control panel, lever, dialogue fitter. Dialogue fitter? What the heck is that? Oh, that's Zillin's terrain. Got it. When you work in retail, it's basically can you work more? And then you hit them with a good old, okay, can you pay more? And they're like, what are you, stupid? At least you should be getting your overtime. Right? They are paying you overtime. Okay, that's good. You're supposed to have wood shelf and storage metal shelf. Okay, so it's wood shelf, storage cabinet. But that's not, no, that's the one that I made. Which we'll probably want to place a storage cabinet in here with a random loot. Tool shelf. Okay, that's the one that I was just messing with. Shelf. Right. Okay. So if it's in the form of meshes, you gotta go through them and create some scenes for me, man. Because this dialog box is pretty much the fastest way to pull up a prop really quickly. Shelf, open cabinet shelf. Okay, that's mine. That was for the base. There's wood shelf. Unless that's not mine. No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that is mine. And we got the wood shelf. This is a really tall one. When we did Godot 3 to Godot 4, that were deleted. I don't know if it deletes scenes, honestly. Metal shelf, tool shelf. Okay, so tool shelf is here. The tool shelf scene is in place. Metal shelf, and then heavy metal shelf. Got it. Oh, that's a little bit much. That's a bit much. That's like warehouse storage. This right here, however, could work. Not bad. Cool. All right. So yeah, we need scenes for these guys. These guys. Let's get static body, metal shelf. Oh, there we go. Um, yeah, that should be fine. Okay, we have the metal shelf, but we also have tool shelf. So it's object, props, storage. Props, storage. And then metal shelf. Cool. Costco shelving. Yeah. Eventually, once we get to the Atomicon project, I think it might be a good idea for you, me, and Dimitar to just start with a call and establish the folder structure. That's going to be useful. Okay, so we have shelf. So this is tool shelf. Is that tool shelf? No. I'm going to keep that there. Metal shelf. Yes. Come on. There we go. Heavy metal shelf for storage bunker chunk. Metal shelf. I think have a texture for the shelf. Yeah, the textures are all kind of, kerfuffled after the porting process. That part we know. This might be entirely too little space for in between, but we'll just see what that looks like. And then we'll take the cabinet. Storage cabinet. Ow. Come on. Hmm. Bo'o wo'o. Hmm. I think you should have some broken models. Yeah, for sure. Maybe a good idea. Okay. So now I'm gonna place a teleport destination. Okay, this is the security checkpoint quest start. Okay, this thing is just planted on the ground. First, I'm making the fourth terminal model. Man, chill the fuck out with the terminals. God damn. Okay. Ceiling. Nice. And then, what was the material that we used for the ceiling? Oh, same one we used for the ground. Got it. Joking. Oh, I'm ducking your pay. uh, what do we got? Ooh, this is really like hanging off by dear life. Why does it look like a Greek temple with all the pillars? Now, this space is supposed to be enclosed, and we're supposed to find a way, an interesting way of getting into it. And this location is not supposed to have uh, like a difficult way of entering it. So, yeah. pillars feel a bit flimsy. Yeah, maybe if we, whoa. What the heck? Oh, what the? Attempting to parent and pop up a dialogue that already has a parent. What? Why you no let me save? What's happening? It's not letting me save. Okay, cannot open file. Radio detector TS. Ah, oh, yo man, you better not be renaming scenes in Godot. Have fun dealing with corrupted levels. Okay, so we got teleport location. Oh, no we don't, because we deleted it from the level. Okay, if I do this. Nope, nothing to undo. Okay. Let's do this. Quest start. Align it, transform to view. We don't want it to be sideways. And plug down on the ground. Then sink it into the ground. And there we go. Cool. Looks like I'm already here. And now this is an interior area, so we're gonna have to play around with the lighting. Why is everything so completely blown out of proportion with the fog? This is like over the top. Oopsie, it's not my fault. If it's not your fault, you wouldn't be saying oopsie. It's like when you're getting stopped by a traffic cop, and the first thing you say, "I'm sorry, officer, I didn't do anything." And the officer's looking at you. "Why are you sorry?" Insta ticket. What do we get? They're planning to add an option to use the old fog option. Yeah, I gotta say, the start and end system for the fog seemed like it was a lot more flexible. I'm gonna start saying it. I didn't do anything for no reason. Yeah, pretty much. I didn't do nothing. Okay. So we should be able to get the lighting to switch, I think. If we haven't completely disabled that system because of the porting process, should be able to get the lighting to switch if we do interior environment trigger zone. This is an area. Give it a shape. This way. Collision shape. Also, I stand firm that if you search for a shape, it should automatically select collision shape, not the ray shape. Considering that you're far more likely to use that. Yeah, we're going to make it kind of large for the time being. Not going to worry about it extending too far. We'll segment it into smaller regions after. And it doesn't work. Which kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay. Oh, actually kind of does work. At least the exterior lighting works. But I have to find a way to balance the fog with the, what is it, evening, night, and morning systems. Also, the light being on for no reason is a little strange. So we have to motivate the player actually inserting a battery. Okay, maybe we can do something about the interior fog. So let's see here. When we enter, get tree, get nodes and group, main level group, environment transition speed is adjusted, and then current environment zone is adjusted as well. Master node, current environment zone. Okay, so whatever uses this is what's responsible for switching environments. Let's find. And there we go. It's in the level script. Okay. Now, there's the light energy. Oh, can I scroll? The light energy gets adjusted. Sun energy. This is it. I'd say we recode the entire game in C#. Why would I torture myself like that? I'm not that much of a masochist. What do we got? Transition environment. I don't think we're using this function. No. We are in the ready, but okay, bye-bye for now. I'm going home. Sounds good, man. Safe trip. Have a good ride. Don't let the homeless bite. Cool. Okay, so we got transition environment. What do we need? We need master node. Bunker room IDs. No, I think it's in a level then. We are using environment zone properties. That's what we need. And then this is a variable. It has the inside dark. Here we have the fog color. Aha. We had the fog color. We disabled it. That's because we have fog and then we have volumetric fog. Fog light color. I'm going to disable volumetric fog for the time being. I have a feeling we might actually not even have volumetric fog enabled for the most part. Well, here's the crash. What does that say? Environment. Couldn't get the environment because it's a null instance. Main world environment. Invalidate index environment on base null instance. So this is null instance. Oh, just world environment. This might be a bit of a problem because I believe Dimitar, whoops, and Antoine, they have a main world environment in their scenes, so that's going to break the sandboxes. We don't want that to happen, so I'm going to get a bunch of complaints. Environment. Okay, so we get the environment by using a node group. Main level world environment group. Copy that sucker. Okay, we don't need this. And then we go back to the level. Just rename the node in the scene. Yeah, but I'm going to have to do that everywhere. That should really account for it. Let's make a variable here. Okay. That works. And then we go here. Anytime we talk to this, we'll talk to a variable instead. Yes. Well, if something breaks, it'll tell me. Man, it is really snowing. Looks like I'm gonna have to bust out the snow shovel again. I just tossed it over the neighbor's fence, thinking I won't need it. Alright. Environment on base null instance. Oh, it's not in the group. Hey. Alright. So that turned it into the nighttime scene. It's pretty good. And then when we get in here, yeah, okay. We want it to be even darker. So this would be inside dark. So we do this. Inside dark. Oh. It's already inside dark. Now that's curious. Fog color. Let's try this. Okay. There should really be no environmental lighting whatsoever. Background energy, 0. Sun energy, 0. So what the heck is still affecting us? Sky contribution? Yeah, that's the thing about doing interior zones in an otherwise exterior level. You have to mess around with the environment lighting. I said it before and I'll say it again. They should implement some sort of a environment tweening system where you can tween between just clusters of properties in the environment. Okay, let's take a look at what else is here. Is that the directional light, maybe? No. Maybe? Nope, it's at 0. This has got to be the environment. Ambient light? Oh, sky contribution, okay. So, ambient light sky contribution. Got it. Okay, so we're gonna have to do... inside open, I guess. Inside, if it's inside open, which means like the rooftop's missing, everything's missing, then it's gonna be 1, and then outside... 1. Okay, so that's one thing. Right. Well, we haven't actually transitioned this property. So... there we go. This is where we transition it. Duplicate. Ambient light sky contribution. This is the property we would like to transition to. And then... there we go. I hear there's motion blur coming into the post-processing effect roster for Godot. That's going to be super handy for, well, depends on how they handle it, but That'll be super handy to create like a kind of like a drunk filter, or let's say if you're like running out of breath and your vision starts to blur. It's a interesting effect. Okay, so that's fine. It's not fully dark, so something else needs to be adjusted, but we're hunting it down. Kind of makes me wonder, how would one create the drunken blur effect? Because I know it's like you have to record the frame, you then have to store the frame, and then overlap that frame with transparency or filtering, blending over the current frame. The question is, like how would we store the texture between the frames in the shader, unless it wouldn't be done in the shader? Because I know when you take a screenshot of the screen, there's a visible stutter. So taking screenshots like in real time, it's not really viable. You'd have to have access to the rendered frame, which you do in the shader, but then you have to store it so that in the next iteration of the shader, it's available to you. That's the tricky part. Okay, let me try to run this. There's an add-on for motion blur, but it's not per object motion blur. Yeah, that's fine. You know, I'm talking about like the screen post-process effect. Nice. So we need to make that to be really visible, which I suppose would come from the lighting, volumetric fog, that is. Okay. And then if we go into that lamp, what is it? Bad lamp TSCN. Get the spotlight. So first of all, it's got to be bright. Second of all, it's got to have volumetric lighting and shadow. Okay. Creating the silhouette looks kind of nice. It's not really what I want. Oh, it's gone. Okay, so I'll try to move this forward a bit. Let's try running that again. I gotta say, the Arkham Knight game is probably the only game where I never actually noticed the motion blur, just simply because it was implemented in a way that wasn't too in your face. Might have to get rid of volumetric effect on the player's flashlight. Okay, so let's double check that again. Okay. Interesting. Now we don't have as much of a volumetric effect. What changed? Density? Turning off temporal affection of volumetric fog environment settings. Yes, that is something I can turn off. I got that hint from you guys last time. What is that for? Is that for like smoothing it out and anti-aliasing? Huh. It's temporal something. It's definitely temporal, as the name might imply. Uses previous frame to smooth out. I see. Yeah, so that makes sense. Temporal anti-aliasing. Temporal reprojection. Temporal tempura. Got it, fellas. Understood. Oh, interesting. If you enable shadow, for some reason the volumetrics stop working. Okay. Just grab it. I don't need to do this puzzle. I'll just grab it right away. Okay. So, we're not gonna have a pitch black environment here. I think once the player pops in the battery, we're gonna have a couple of lights here that light up the area and kind of point your attention to various elements. Try increasing volume size in the project settings. Turn off filtering. Volume size in the project settings and turn off filtering. I would imagine it's in lighting. No. Environment. Screen space reflections. Subsurface scattering, volumetric lights. Okay, so let's do, what is it, volume size or volume depth? Would we just crank up everything? Use filter, no. All right, let's see here. Oh, I can definitely see the samples. Oh, come on, really? Shit just disappears. Okay. I think that right there is pretty good. You'll hate it when you disable temple projection. Is it possible to disable it for some lights but not for the others? Because it's distracting when it's on the flashlight of the player, which is why I might have to disable environmental or volumetric lighting on the player flashlights. Okay, but that looks pretty good. Also, are we supposed to increase samples or decrease the size? Okay, that's fine. It is what it is. Cool. Well, okay, so we have a potential candidate for this location. We do have to get the door to be interactable, which I think I'm going to do from a terminal. And we're going to have the terminal camera pointed in such a way where you can see both the screen and the door. So once you open up the door through the terminal command, it will like chunk open up a little bit. But okay, I mean we got something at least. Before I just had nothing, no idea what we're doing here. Cool. I am going to take a break because for the next couple of hours I got to get some work done. And cool. I'd say this is pretty good progress. We got ourselves some new fenced away props. We'll block the player movement with. I'd say that's pretty good. And yay. Progress. Progress is good. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Continue in the next one. Hope you enjoyed. And thanks for the company.